To the lecture series of low power VLSI design. So in the lecture 1 we have seen the basic introduction about the low power VLSI design. Now we are going to start some of the basic of MOS transistors, which are the important part to understand the VLSI design. Okay, because without understanding the MOS transistor characteristic, we are not able to understand how the CMOS logic is formed and how the other logic is formed depending on the MOSFET or MOS transistors. So we have to understand the basic of MOS transistors for that reason. Okay. So in this, what we are going to consider, first we will see the MOSFET structure. Okay, MOSFET structure, and then we will see the different MOS symbols, means the different MOSFET symbols. Okay, then we will see the different region of operation for the MOSFET, and also we will see the IV characteristic. Okay, IV characteristic of the MOSFET. Okay, so in the IV characteristic we will see the current and voltage dependency, how the current depends on the voltage, and what is the different graphs in the different region we will see. Then after this IV characteristic we will see the second order effect. Second order effects. So in the second order effects, generally we see the different like body effects. The second is like channel length modulation. Channel length modulation. And third, we will see the sub threshold conduction. Okay, threshold sub threshold conduction. So these three are the second order effect. What are these second order effects? They are generally we study the IV characteristic, which are the in the first order, like for simplicity. So there are some other second order, means a little bit complex current voltage relationship we will see. Okay, so so these things we are going to discuss, which are important for the low power VLSI design. So we will discuss these things one by one. So first we have to study, we have to understand the MOSFET structure, how the MOSFET is formed, and what are the different regions in the MOSFET. Okay, like source region, drain region, gate region, where the gate voltage is applied. Okay, where the voltage is applied for the operation. Okay, so let us see the basic of MOSFET structure. So here in the figure you can see this is a NMOS transistor. NMOS transistor. Okay, so generally if substrate is of p type, then we can say that is a n channel MOSFET or NMOS transistor. If the substrate is of n type, then it is a p channel MOSFET or PMOS. Okay, so here you can see the p substrate is there. Okay, p type of substrate is there. So it is a n MOSFET. Okay, NMOS or n MOSFET. So this region is generally called as substrate. This one, this block is called as substrate region. Okay, and here the n plus region are grown. N plus region. This one is also the n plus region. These n plus region are grown, and this is like the connection are made. This is a 3D structure, so this is a metal connection are made here. So this is called as D, like drain. Okay, this is our drain, and here it is source. Again, this is also N plus region, and this is a metal connection. Okay, now this region is oxide region. This one, this is a oxide region. We can say SiO2, SiO2. Okay, silicon dioxide. This is oxide region which separates the p substrate and the gate. Okay, so this is our gate, which is like polysilicon. This is polysilicon, we can say. This is the gate, and this is the connection of gate, and we can say this one is our gate. Okay, so this substrate is also called as sometime bulk or body. Okay, this substrate is also called as sometime bulk or body. Okay, so if you see the dimensions of this MOSFET, so the gate along this source and drain region, this is the gate. The length of this gate is only called as the length of device. Okay, which is like L. Understood? Like here it is called as L drawn. But if you see, there are some region which is like overlapped between source and gate and drain and gate. Okay, like this region which is mentioned here, LD. Okay, so this is this region. If you remove this region from L drawn or L, then effective gate length which is given between the length of source to drain or drain to source. So this is the effective length, we can say. So if you write here the effective length, then the effective length we can write, that is nothing but L drawn minus twice of LD. Okay, so LD is nothing but side diffusion, so length of side diffusion. This length, we can say this length. Okay, overlap region between the source and gate, and also the between drain and gate. Okay, and this is our width of, in this dimension, this is our width of device, we can say. This is our width of device. So the width and length ratio, W by L, it is an important ratio, and also called as aspect ratio of the device. Okay, of a MOSFET device. Okay, and it's play a very important role in the performance of MOS circuit. And later on we will see that current transconductance of these MOSFETs depends on this W by L ratio, means the aspect ratio. Therefore it is a very important parameter. Okay, W by L ratio is very important parameter. Okay. So generally the MOSFET is called a symmetrical device, we know that. Okay, mass structure is in symmetric in the nature. Uh, if you mark a cut in between here, then you can see that this is very symmetry in both the side. We can interchange drain and source. Okay, the source can be work as a drain, and the drain can be work as a source. Okay, so depending on the biasing voltages we apply on the different terminal, that can be interchanged. Okay, so this is called as symmetrical device. However, in the case of BJT is not a symmetrical device. Understood? And in the fabrication of integrated circuit, means in the IC industry, we know that nowadays MOSFET is very demanding, and another reason is also here, that the length of this MOSFET can be scaled down. Okay, scaled down, which is a very important property of MOSFET, and that's why also the fabrication steps which are used. Okay, let's. Okay, so the fabrication steps are simple for the MOSFET. Therefore, it is uh, most suitable for the fabrication of ICs. Okay, so MOSFET is called as four terminal devices. Okay, three terminals are drain, gate, and source. Another terminal is called as body terminal or the bulk terminal. Okay, so if you consider the four terminal device, then we have different symbols for that. So let us see the different symbol for PMOS device and the NMOS device. So here we can see that this is a four terminal NMOS device and this is the four terminal PMOS device. Different region are also depicted in the figure. This is the figure A. Okay, different region, different connections are depicted. Okay, this is the bulk terminal or body terminal, gate, drain, and source. Okay, similarly for PMOS, the simple structure is also presented like a three terminal MOSFET. Okay, so in the three terminal MOSFET, what will be happen here, that the body is directly connected to the for NMOS, the body of NMOS is directly connected to the ground. Okay, means in this we assume that body of this NMOS is directly connected to the ground, and for this PMOS transistor, the body terminal is connected to the maximum power supply, which is, we can say, the VDD. Okay, similarly here these symbols are generally used in the digital IC design or digital circuits. Okay. So this is the symbol for PMOS and this is the symbol for NMOS. Okay, so a different type of symbols we have seen here, like NMOS and the PMOS. In the general analog devices, we use these type of symbols because we also use the body. Okay, we will see what is the role of body terminal and how the parameter of MOSFET varies depending on the body terminal and which parameter will depends. Okay, we will see later on. So these are some of the basic things about the MOSFET structure and the MOS device and the symbol of MOSFET. Then later we have to understand what is the MOSFET I and V characteristic. Okay, this is an important topic for a MOSFET. Okay, so first consider an NMOS transistor and let us see of that this is our like NMOS transistor. Okay, we are connecting different, this is N plus, this is also our N plus, this is our drain terminal, and here this is our oxide, and this is our polysilicon, and gate terminal is connected here, and here the source terminal is connected. So this is a like P type substrate. Okay, and if you consider the four terminal, then that can be considered here like this way, that is our P plus, we can say, and that is grounded. Generally source will be grounded, let us bias it. So consider this N type of N channel MOSFET. Okay, this is NFET or N MOSFET. Okay, and let us apply some drain voltage, a small drain voltage of 0.1 volt here, and at variable Vg we are applying here, and we are going to see what is the effect on this device on varying this voltage Vg. Okay, so what happens if we are going to increase this Vg? We are applying the positive gate voltage here. Okay, what happened to this device when we going to increase this Vg from 0? Vg from the 0 volt. Okay, so initially when Vg is 0 volt, the device will be similar. Okay, no layer will be formed, no inversion layer will be formed here. So generally what happen, gate and source, both terminal are separated from oxide COX. Okay, this is the oxide, this is a SiO2 oxide. Therefore we generally say that there is a capacitance offered from there, which is nothing but COX, which is given by epsilon OX and divided by 2 TOX, where TOX is nothing but the width of or the height of this oxide, or thickness, we can say thickness of oxide layer. Okay, thickness of oxide layer, this is our TOX. Okay, so COX, which is a capacitance offered between gate and substrate region, that is epsilon OX divided by 2 TOX. So if Vg is positive, we are going to increase the Vg. Let us say Vg is a little bit positive, we are applying. Then what will happen to this device? Okay, this is a p-type substrate which is having the holes as a free carrier. Okay, so in generally p-type material, we know this is the basic semiconductor. In the p-type material or p-type semiconductor, holes are the majority carrier. Okay, holes are the majority, and electrons are the minority carriers. Okay, similarly for a n type of semiconductor material, electrons are the majority carriers. Okay, and holes are the minority carriers. Okay, so here p types of substrate is there, so holes will be the majority carrier. So the holes which are near to this gate terminal, or this region here, you can say this one. So the holes which are here, which will be going to be repelled from this positive gate voltage. So when you apply the positive gate voltage, the holes which are near to this gate terminal here, they are going to be repelled from the gate area. Okay, they are going to be repelled from the gate area, and therefore the negative ions will be appear here. Okay, like this, negative ions will be appear at this position. Okay, when a hole will be repelled from this area, a negative ion will be appear. Okay, in this region. Understood? So so this can say that for a small positive voltage, negative ions which are appeared at the near the gate, and this is, we can say, this is we can say the depletion region is created. Because of this depletion region is created for a small positive Vg. When you apply a small positive Vg, depletion region is created near the gate. Okay, so under this condition we generally say that there is no current flows, because there is no charge carrier is available. So under this condition we can say the ID is our 0, no current will be flow. Drain current, ID is our drain current is 0, and that is because of there is no charge carriers are available. Okay, because these ions are not movable. Okay, ions cannot move. Okay, so this is if ions cannot move, then they cannot be the region for flowing of current. Okay, so as we are again going to increase the Vg, again if going to increase the Vg, okay, then what will happen? The width of depletion region will the width of depletion region and potential at the oxide silicon interface will increase. Okay, width of depletion region and the potential at the oxide interface. Okay, potential at the oxide interface will increase. Okay, both will increase while increasing the Vg. Okay, so what will happen? The substrate resembles because of this, the substrate resembles two capacitors in the series. Okay, and the gate oxide capacitor and the depletion region capacitor, we can say gate oxide capacitor and the depletion region capacitor. Okay, like this is our oxide COX. Okay, between gate and substrate, and because of this, again there will be a oxide. This is the, we can say, because of the depletion region, C depletion. Okay, so this is our two capacitor which are going to be happen in the series. Okay, because of this phenomena when we increase the Vg from the 0 volt. Understood? So when the interface potential reaches a sufficiently positive value, okay, some value like cutoff value, we can say, and then so when the interface potential, this potential at the oxide interface, which is reaches a sufficiently positive value, electron flow from the source to the interface and eventually to the drain. Okay, so what will happen? When we increase the Vg, and Vg is there is some cutoff voltage. Generally, we can say this is the threshold voltage of device, VTH. When Vg is reaches near the VTH, okay, then the electron flow from the source to the interface and the eventually to the drain will occurs. So electron flow from the source towards the drain occurs. Electron started flowing from there to there in this direction. Then the current which is flowing opposite to the flow of electron, therefore the, we can say, the drain current will flow. Okay, so because of this electron flow, the channel of charge carrier is formed under the gate oxide between source and drain. Okay, and finally we can say the transistor is turned on. Our transistor is turned on. Okay, so this turn on phenomena is gradually a function of gate voltage. Okay, so um, and it depends on the threshold voltage, and we have to increase the gate voltage such that it must be the gate to source voltage of device. Gate to source voltage of device must be greater than or equals to VTH, threshold voltage of device, to turn on the device. Okay, so this is the one condition to turn on the MOSFET. Okay, or we can say NMOS. Okay, NMOSFET. Okay, so from here we have some threshold voltage relationship depending on the work function of polysilicon gate and the work function of silicon substrate, and also the doping concentration of the substrate, and the oxide capacitance. So depending on that, there is a relationship of threshold voltage. Okay, so generally we are not going to into the detail of that. So we have to understand that there is a threshold voltage of any device. So to turn on the device, VGS must be greater or equals to the VTH. Okay, understood? And however, for the PMOS devices, similar to that, for the PMOS devices, generally we apply the negative voltage at the gate terminal for the PMOS devices. Therefore, we can write for the PMOS field effect transistor, we can write in the both way. VGS should be greater than mod of VGS should be greater than mod of VTH. Okay, or we can say VGS should be less than or equals to VTH in the PMOS devices. Okay, both are true. You can use the mod. Okay, means the positive value of VGS should be greater or equals to positive value of VTH, or this if you consider the negative value, then this condition is true to turn on the PMOS. Okay, this is the another condition. Okay, so depending on that, we can understand the relationship between current and voltage. These voltage like VGS means gate to source voltage, the threshold voltage, and the drain to source voltage VDS. Okay, so there will be a derivation for that. We are not going for the derivation. We are going to write the different current in the different region. So for a MOSFET, there are some region of operation. So like one is the cutoff region. Okay, then there is a triode region. This is also called as linear region. Okay, and then the saturation region. And for all the region, there are different conditions. We are going to see what are the different conditions for these regions, and how the current depends on the voltage, different voltages in different regions. Okay, other than this, in the triode region, another region is formed which is called as deep triode region, which is the sub part of this triode region. And in the deep triode region, generally a MOSFET is more linear. Okay, therefore it can be work like a linear resistance in the deep triode region, and this has some application in the analog IC design. Or okay, so deep triode region is there in the which is the sub part of triode region. We will discuss. Okay, so first let us see what is the cutoff region. So we have seen that to turn on the device, VGS should be greater than VTH. Okay, greater or equals to VTH. Okay, so if VGS is less than VTH, then this is called as cutoff region. Okay, we are discussing here for the NMOS. Understood? For the NMOS transistor, we are discussing. Then if VGS is less than VTH, then it is called as cutoff region. So transistor will turn on for VGS greater or equals to VTH. Okay, turning on. Understood? So now first part, if VDS is less than VGS minus VTH. Okay, so this VGS minus VTH is also called as overdrive voltage. Overdrive voltage. VGS minus VTH is called as overdrive voltage, which is an important parameter to understand the physics of MOSFET and understand the operation. So when VDS is less than overdrive voltage, means the VGS minus VTH, then this is called as the linear region, means the MOSFET NMOS is operating in the linear region or in the triode region. Okay, And secondary, the B part, when VDS is greater than or equals to VGS minus VTH, means the overdrive voltage, then it is called as saturation region. Saturation region. Okay. So in the cutoff region, here ID, we consider ID as a 0, ID equals to 0, drain current. And in the linear region, let us write in the linear region, what will be our ID? So in the linear region, I am writing ID is our mu1 COX W by L, VGS minus VTH, okay, into VDS minus VDS square by 2. We can also take the 2 out of this bracket, then we also written as mu1 COX W by twice of L, twice of VGS minus VTH into VDS minus VDS square. Okay, so this is the current equation in the linear region. Understood? Where mu1 is the mobility, and okay, mobility of the like this is the n mass na, so mobility of the electron here, mobility of the electron. COX is the oxide capacitance. W by L is the width and length ratio, which is also called as aspect ratio. VGS is gate to source voltage. VTH is threshold voltage of MOSFET, that device. VDS is drain to source voltage. Okay, so this is the current ID, drain current in the linear region. So similarly in the saturation region, we generally consider that VDS equals to VGS minus VTS. So when you replace the VDS equals to VGS minus VTS, this relationship will be like in the saturation. Like VDS is our greater than or equals to VGS minus VTH. Okay, overdrive voltage. So if you replace VDS equals to VGS minus VTH in the previous equation, then ID is our mu1 COX W by 2L VGS minus VTH whole square. Okay, so this is the current in the saturation region. Okay, saturation current we can say ID set, and in the previous we can write here ID linear or ID triode. Okay, so these conditions are very easy to understand, like VGS is less than VTS, then it will be the cutoff region. And if VGS is greater than or equals to VTS, then transistor will be turned on. And first, if VDS is less than VGS minus VTS, then it will go into the linear region. And if VDS is greater than or equals to VGS minus VTS, then it will go into the saturation region. And different current ID is also written here for the same. Okay. So another thing we have to discuss the deep triode region. Okay. So the condition for the deep triode region, which is the sub part of deep triode region, which is the sub part of triode region. So in the triode region, what will happen? VDS is less than VGS minus VTS. So in the deep triode region, we can say when VDS is very small compared to twice of VGS minus VTS, means twice of overdrive voltage. When VDS is very small when compared to twice of VGS minus VTH, then we can say that the device is operating in the deep triode region. Like if you see the ID versus VDS characteristic, the curve, then for the different VGS, for the VGS1, VGS2, for the different value of VGS, This curve can be like that. So deep triode region means for the small value of VDS means this region. Okay, so if you draw this region separately, so this can be like a linear region. Okay, this is like a linear region for the small value of VDS. Okay, so in this region we can say in the deep triode region we can say the MOSFET is like a linear mass linear okay, like a linear device. Understood? So in this region we can use a transistor as a linear resistor. Okay, linear resistor we can use. This is the linear resistor. Means the resistance. Okay, not the resistance, the resistance. So linear resistor. Okay, and that is we can also derive this resistance value in this region. So in the if VDS is very small which compared to this value twice of VGS minus VTS, then if you go to the this equation here, then VDS is very small compared to twice of VGS minus VTS, then VDS square will be negligible. Understood? So this will be remain only. ID can be written in the deep triode region. In the deep triode, ID will be can be written as mu1 COX W by L. 2 and 2 will be cancelled out, then it is VGS minus VTH into VDS. VDS square will be negligible. Okay, because VDS is very small. Understood? So from here we can write the resistance, which is deep triode resistance R on, that is nothing but VDS upon ID. Okay, and that is our 1 divided by mu1 COX W by L VGS minus VTH. So for the very small value of VDS, when this device, this MOSFET can be work as a linear resistor. Okay, and this is the value of resistance. Okay. So also in this resistance, sorry, in this region, the MOSFET can be work as a variable resistance, and this variable resistance can be controlled by this this gate to source voltage, and therefore it is called as a voltage controlled linear resistor. Okay, voltage controlled linear resistor. So this is a operation of this is a application of MOSFET, that a MOSFET can be operate as a voltage controlled linear resistor in the deep triode region. Okay. So another parameter for the transistor for the like resistance is our del VDS upon del ID, we can say. Okay. Then similarly there is another parameter which is called as transconductance of the device. Okay, transconductance of the device and denoted by the small gm. Okay, and this is nothing but the change in uh, current with respect to change in gate to source voltage, or okay, like it can be given as change in drain current with respect to change in gate to source voltage for a constant VDS, for a constant VDS. Okay, so GM for each region we can also define the GM like in the linear region or in the triode region, linear region or in the triode region. We know that ID equals to nothing but mu1 COX W by L. Okay, twice of VGS minus VTS into VDS. minus VDS square. So this is our ID mu1 COX W by twice of L twice of VGS minus VTH into VDS minus VDS square. Okay, so when you differentiate the ID with respect to VGS, we will find the transconductance. Okay. So in the linear region, the transconductance GM will be given by mu1. Just the differentiate the ID with respect to VGS, and VDS is constant. Okay, so mu1 COX W by L. Okay, 2 and 2 will be cancelled out, only the VDS will remain here. So this is the transconductance in the linear region. Okay, very simple derivation. Similarly, in the saturation region, our ID is mu1 COX W by twice of L VGS minus VTH whole square. When you derivate this with respect to VGS, okay, then we will get GM as a mu1 COX W by L VGS minus VTH. Okay, so this is the transconductance in the saturation region. So what is the significance of transconductance? So generally transconductance represent the sensitivity of the device. Okay, if GM is high, that means if there is a very small change in the VGS, then there will be very large effect on the ID. Okay, so it is called as sensitivity of the device. Understood? That means if you change the VGS, if GM is large, then if you change the VGS by very small quantity, the current will be changed by very large quantity. Okay, that is the significance of transconductance. And as we have seen, we have discussed that W by L is the aspect ratio of the device, and VGS minus VTH is overdrive voltage of the device. Okay, so both the relationship we can see here. Okay, what are the relationship of W by L with respect to current, drain current, and the transconductance, and what is the relationship of overdrive voltage for the drain current and the transconductance. So all the conditions we can also write for the PMOS devices just by considering the like we have discussed that we can consider the first region is like VGS mod of VGS must be greater than or equals to mod of VTH to turn on the device, turn on the this we are writing for the PMOS. Okay, and A part mod of VDS is less than mod of VGS minus mod of VTH, then this will we can say that nothing but is a linear region. Okay, and similarly for the saturation region we can say that mod of VDS is greater or equals to mod of VGS minus mod of VTH. Okay, so this way we can define that this is for the saturation region for a PMOS device. Okay, now the different second order effect we have to consider here. So we have second order effect. So what is the need of second order effect and what is the effect of that and why it is called a second order effect? So generally till now for our analysis we have considered this MOSFET structure is like we have several assumptions. Okay, so these is for the simplicity we have assumed some point, and like in the simplicity we also assume that our source is grounded as well as the body, the bulk terminal is also grounded. Okay, for a NMOS transistor. But what will happen if you apply the body voltage? Means both are not grounded. Source is grounded, but our body is connected with some other terminal. So if our body is connected with some other terminal, then there will be a phenomena which is means the effect of phenomena which is affected the threshold voltage. Okay, that will we can say the body effect. Okay, effect of body terminal. When you apply the voltage at the body terminal, there is a some effect. So to understand this effect, we have to let us suppose that this is a NMOS transistor. Okay, here we have applied some positive Vg and our source is grounded, but the body terminal is something like Vb, which is less than 0. Okay, and this is our drain terminal. Okay, so here first consider that Vs equals to Vd equals to 0. Okay, and Vg is somewhat less than Vth. Okay, Vg is less than Vth. This is the our first consideration. So that we have discussed that the depletion region will be formed here. Depletion region will be formed. Understood? But there will be no inversion layer. Okay, so that current will not flow. Now if Vb is negative, Vb is less than 0, we have considered. Now if Vb is negative, then what will happen? More holes will be attracted toward the substrate. Okay, Vb is negative, then holes will be in the p type of substrate that will be attracted towards the substrate connection. Okay, and therefore larger negative charge will be generated near the gate. Okay, understood? Like this is our MOSFET. This is we can say Vb, which is less than 0. This is our N plus. This is p type substrate. Okay, this is again N plus here. This is our drain. This is source, and here we are having gate. Okay, so we have considered that Vg is less than Vth, but Vb is also less than 0. Therefore, the holes which are majority carrier in this p type substrate will be attracted towards this substrate voltage or this body voltage or the body terminal. Okay, therefore the more negative charge carrier will be lived here at this point. More negative charge carrier will be lived, and the depletion region which is formed because of this Vg less than Vth will be become more wider. Understood? Now we have discussed that threshold voltage is the function of total charge in the depletion region. Okay, therefore because of this total charge which is increased because of Vb, what will happen? Vth will also increase. Vth will increase. So when you apply the Vb less than 0, means when you apply the negative voltage at the body terminal in a NMOS transistor, Vth will increase. So there is a relationship between threshold voltage and the source to body terminal voltage, and that relationship is given by Vth equals to Vth 0. Vth 0 means when VSB equals to 0 means source to body voltage is 0, then the value of threshold voltage. And gamma is the body effect coefficient, and this gamma is given by some value we will give later on. First write this one. This is mod of 2 phi f, okay, plus VSB source to bulk potential, okay, minus again under root mod of 2 phi f. Phi f is Fermi potential. So here gamma is our body effect coefficient, and it is given by under root 2q epsilon silicon, okay, epsilon Si and substrate means the doping of substrate divided by COX. So this is the reason, this is the very important formula of VTH, which is depending on the source to bulk potential. So in the previous example, we have considered VB less than 0 and Vs equals to 0, okay. So what will happen? VSB will be our source to bulk potential will be greater than 0, okay. So if source to bulk potential will be greater than 0, so you can see in this relationship, if VSB is greater than 0, then VTH will increase compared to VTH 0, okay. So VTH will be our VTH 0 plus some value will be because of VSB, and that will increase. Okay. So another is our channel length modulation, okay, channel length modulation. So because of the channel length modulation, that channel length modulation is because of generally pinch off, okay, channel length modulation, and that occurs because of pinch off, and pinch off occurs when VDS is increased over the overdrive voltage, means VTH increased over the VGS minus VTH voltage. So the amount of VDS increased over the VGS minus VTH voltage, that will generate the pinch off, and pinch off, because of pinch off, the effective length of the channel decreases, and because of that, the 1 by L is converted as 1 by L dash. Effective length will be converted as 1 by L dash, and that effect is called a channel length modulation, and this L dash is only written as L minus delta L, okay. So delta L is the reduction in the channel length because of this pinch off, okay. So this way they 1 by L dash is like L minus delta L, then we can write 1 upon L minus delta L, okay. Then this will be like 1 by L, and 1 minus delta L by L, and then from you can take the inverse, then it will be 1 by L, 1 plus delta L by L, because this is a very small amount, and this will be considered as 1 by L, 1 plus delta L by L is like lambda into VDS, okay, where lambda is our channel length modulation coefficient and VDS is drain to source voltage. Because of this drain to source voltage, delta L occurs. Therefore this is comes as this 1 by L in the previous equation of ID replaced by 1 by L, 1 plus lambda VDS, okay, and that occurs in the saturation region. This is occurs in the saturation region because we are telling now that VDS, the amount of VDS increased over VGS minus VTS, means VDS is greater than VGS minus VTS. For that particular condition, this pinch off occurs. Understood? Therefore, channel length modulation occurs in the saturation region, and that 1 by L will be replaced by 1 by L 1 plus lambda into VDS. Okay. So our equation, the current equation will be, I'm removing this part. In the saturation region, then our current equation ID saturation will be changed as mu1 COX W by twice of L VGS minus VTH whole square, and 1 by L is replaced by 1 by L into 1 plus lambda VDS. So 1 plus lambda VDS term will come here. Okay. In the saturation region only. That will not come into the linear region, because this occurs only when VDS is greater than VGS minus VTH. Also, you can see the we can see the GM transconductance. Okay. So another second order effect is subthreshold conduction. So what will happen in the subthreshold conduction? Generally, what we have assumed that when VGS is less than VTH, the device is in the off condition. But in the real, when VGS is near about VTH, there is a weak inversion layer still exists, and some current from drain to source will flow when drain voltage means VDS will be high. Okay. Then the value of VDS should be roughly greater than 200 millivolt. That is the important condition. That for this condition, when VGS is less than VTH, there is some current, and that current exponentially depends on the gate to source voltage. Okay. And that is called as subthreshold conduction. Subthreshold conduction means below the threshold voltage there is the flow of current, there is some conduction, there is some flow of current, that is called as subthreshold conduction. Okay. So we can write that current, the dependency of the drain current below the VGS minus VTH, sorry, VGS below the VGS less than VTS. Okay. And VDS is when VDS is large. This is the how much large? That is around 200 millivolt. Okay. Then there will be some current, and that will exponentially depends on the e to the power VGS divided by neta VT. VT is the thermal voltage. Okay. VGS upon e to the power VGS divided by neta VT. VT is the thermal voltage, and neta is our material constant, we can say, and generally neta is greater than 1. Okay. And also it is called as non-ideality factor, and Vt is the thermal voltage which is given by Kt by Q. Okay. And at the room temperature it is around 26 millivolt. So this is our current in the subthreshold region. Okay. Subthreshold region. So this subthreshold conductions occurs when VGS is less than VTH and VDS is our little bit larger. Okay. Okay. So in the basic understanding of the MOSFET, this is the total overview we have seen. So let us end the today lecture. We will see you in the next video of the low power VLSI design lecture series. Thank you for watching.